The average adult brain weighs about 3 pounds. It is a soft, pale mass responsible for assembling every signal from our five senses sight, smell, touch, taste, and hearing into a single cohesive experience. Because this organ is the primary command center for the body, it requires a physical vault. This protection begins with the skull, a thick layer of bone designed to shield the delicate tissue from external injury. Beneath the skull, 3 tissue layers called the meninges wrap the brain: the thick fibrous dura mater, the transparent arachnoid layer, and the thin pia mater. Between them, cerebral fluid circulates into deep ventricles, creating a liquid shock-absorbing cushion. This multi-layered security system provides a physical barrier between the outside world and the body's central nervous system, ensuring the brain can process information without interruption. When we look past those protective layers, we see the cerebrum, the largest part of the brain. It is divided into right and left hemispheres, connected by a bundle of fibers that allow each side to control the opposite half of the body. The surface of the cerebrum appears folded into hills and valleys to pack maximum surface area into the skull. A cross-section reveals an outer, darker gray matter that processes information, and an inner, lighter white matter acting as a cabling system. This outer shell, the cerebral cortex, is divided into 4 major lobes. At the front, the frontal lobe manages executive functions. It is the center for logic, decision-making, and the control of voluntary body movements. Situated right behind it is the parietal lobe. This region processes sensory information, translating signals for temperature, pain, and touch, while enabling complex spatial reasoning. On the sides, the temporal lobe handles auditory information and memory formation. Finally, at the very back, the occipital lobe functions as the brain's visual processing center, allowing us to recognize faces and perceive depth. This folded outer shell operates as a map of human experience, where senses, movements, and thoughts are independently processed in specialized zones. To see how information reaches these surface lobes, we must look beneath the cortex into the structures buried in the brain's deep interior. In the brain's center, the thalamus intercepts raw sensory data, routing it to specific cortex lobes. These signals also loop through the limbic system's hippocampus and amygdala, binding raw information to memories and emotions like pleasure or stress. This core also links the nervous system to the body's chemistry. The hypothalamus and pituitary glands translate electrical signals into hormones that regulate body temperature, sleep cycles, and growth. While the outer cortex is where we think and act, this older interior core dictates how we remember and emotionally react to our surrounding world. Descending below the core, we find the midbrain. This compact region serves as a relay station for visual and auditory systems, while housing the neurons responsible for producing dopamine. Further down is the cerebellum. It regulates and coordinates muscle movements, maintaining the balance and posture required for everything from walking to playing an instrument. The bottommost segments, the pons and the medulla oblongata, form the brainstem. These structures govern involuntary actions we cannot live without, including our heartbeat, our blood pressure, and continuous breathing. This lowest physical section strips away high-level logic, acting as the biological engine that maintains life support, so the higher cognitive functions can remain active. To understand how these anatomical regions communicate, we have to look past the large structures and into the cellular level of the tissue. The brain is composed of approximately 100 billion neurons. These nerve cells constantly fire electrical and chemical signals to transfer information across the network, making every thought and movement possible. Supporting these neurons is an even larger population of glial cells. They provide the physical scaffolding, protection, and nourishment required to keep the neural network alive. Running this network requires massive amounts of energy. A constant supply of oxygenated blood is delivered through the vertebral and internal carotid arteries to fuel this continuous activity. This entire system connects to the rest of the body through the spinal cord and 12 pairs of cranial nerves, which carry instructions from the brain to our muscles and organs. The brain is a fortified, organized electrical grid. From the physical layers of the meninges to the firing of a single neuron, every emotion, memory, and breath is a product of this architecture working in unison.